So the topic excretion. Whenever the nutrition completed, the food is digested and absorbed and assimilated, and later the waste materials which are formed from the body, it has to be eliminated. So we can able to say that excretion, the term excretion came from the Latin words called ex and crenere. Ex and crenere. Ex means out, crenere means shift. So shifting of waste materials from the body to the outside. So excretion is nothing but shifting of waste which are formed in our body, that should be released outside. So take an example. If you take an example of photosynthesis, what are the waste materials formed in the photosynthesis? Oxygen is the waste material. Oxygen is a waste material only. The releases oxygen, no, it's a waste material. And as well as water is a waste material. And take an example of respiration. In living organisms like us, carbon dioxide is a waste material, and water is the waste material, and energy is released. And like that, excretion, if you take, what are the waste materials? So urine, stool means excreta, water and salts are the waste materials released from the body. So in the photosynthesis, glucose is produced, oxygen and water are released. Oxygen is released directly and water is released in the form of transpiration. In the respiration, we are releasing carbon dioxide and we are releasing energy as well as water in the form of salt and sweat. Excretion, urine, stool, water and salts. So like this, each and every organism, after the nutrition, they used to eliminate the waste material. For example, our body is compared to a, we'll call as a factory. A factory. In a factory, will manufacture the useful things. While we are preparing the useful things, with the useful materials are produced. Simultaneously, waste materials also produced. Waste also produced. In a factory, useful materials are produced. Simultaneously, waste also produced. These waste has to be eliminated as well as to be controlled. Here also in our body, as well as in plants' body, as well as other organisms, when the nutrition takes place, automatically food is assimilated and food is utilized in the form of energy, and the remaining the waste materials which are formed in the body has to be eliminated. In our human body, if these waste materials are not eliminated, they changes into nitrogenous waste substances and accumulate in the body parts and leads to many diseases also. You understood? So now, what are the excretory organs present in our body? If you come under the excretory organs, take an example of a skin, is the largest sense organ, and it releases sebum produced by the glands called as sebaceous glands, and sweat produced by the glands called as sweat glands. Sweat glands releases sweat, sebaceous glands releases sebum. Oil glands, sebaceous glands are also called as oil glands. These are excretory materials which are released by the skin. And if you come to the kidneys are the main excretory organs. Later we will discuss about this one. and liver produces bilirubin and biliverdin. It releases bilirubin and biliverdin, and also helpful in the formation of urine. Also helpful in the formation of urine. Urine is a waste material. And intestine releases waste and releases waste materials and salts and water and some nutrients also. Intestine. Then if you come to the human excretory system, the human excretory system consists of main parts. Excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urethra, urinary bladder. So these are the main parts of excretory system. And if you come to the physical appearance of a kidney, so I will call you later. I am in the classroom. In the classroom, I will call you later after 1 hour. Bye. Yes, bye. Don't disturb me. So a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urethra and urinary bladder. Now we will come under the physical appearance of a kidney. So a pair of kidneys are present on either side of the vertebral column, which is present below the abdomen region, on back side of the either side of the vertebral column, backbone on either side. These are bean shaped, size 10 centimeters in length, 5 to 6 centimeters in breadth, and 3 to 4 centimeters in thickness. 10 centimeters in length, 5 to 6 centimeters in breadth, 3 to 4 centimeters in thickness. Color. Externally reddish in color, reddish brown. Internally pale color, It divides into two parts: outer cortex, inner medulla. Cortex is reddish brown, inner medulla is pale. This is about the size, shape, color of the kidney. And a pair of ureters, a dispensable tube-like structures which arise from each kidney, this called as ureters. These ureters will be around 20 centimeters in length. 20 centimeters in length. And urethra. So ureters leads to, first after that urinary bladder, then urethra, So ureters leads to a bladder, a sac-like structure called as urinary bladder. and this urinary bladder leads to a small opening called as urethra. And what is the capacity of the urinary bladder? Means 300 to 800 ml. 300 to 800 ml is the capacity of urinary bladder. Now if you come to the internal structure of kidney, kidneys are made up of numerous cells called as nephrons. Will be around 1.5 to 1.8 billions of nephrons are present. Around how much they given? Normally 1.5 to down they will be there lost. Yes, 1.3 to 1.8 millions of microscopic nephrons are present, and these nephrons plays a major role in the formation of urine and structure of nephron. Nephron is divided into two parts called as Malpighian body and renal tubule. Malpighian body, glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Glomerulus and Bowman's capsule together called Malpighian body. Renal tubule, PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, Henle loop or Henle's loop, and DCT, distal convoluted tubule. PCT, Henle loop, DCT comes under the renal tubule. And now how the urine is formed? The formation of urine. So first listen, kidneys. What is the structural and functional of unit of kidney? Means nephron. The structural and functional unit of kidney nephron, around 1.3 to 1.8 millions of microscopic units called nephrons are present in each kidney. And the nephron consists of two parts that are called as Malpighian body and renal tubule. Malpighian body consists of glomerulus and a Bowman's capsule. Renal tubule consists of PCT, Henle loop and DCT, distal convoluted tubule. Now how the urine is formed? Formation of urine. So in the structure of nephron, a blind cup shaped structure. A blind cup shaped structure. So it is called as Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule. Inside the blood capillaries called as glomerulus, and glomerulus is formed by the afferent arteriole, and afferent arteriole leads to afferent arteriole, glomerulus leads to afferent arteriole, PCT, DCT, Henle loop, Henle's loop, collecting duct, and it leads to a small opening which allows the ureters to come inside. It is called as a pelvis. It is called a pelvis. Now, how the urine is formed? Formation of urine having a steps called as glomerulus filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, and formation of hypertonic solution. Formation of hypertonic solution. And next, urine, percentage of urine. Okay. So glomerulus filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, formation of hypertonic solution. So the blood vessel afferent arteriole gets the blood from the afferent arteriole to the fine blood capillaries, a network of blood capillaries called as glomerulus. Due to the narrowness of this afferent arteriole of the blood capillaries, here the filtration takes place, that is called as glomerulus filtration. The filtration that takes place in the glomerulus, it is called as glomerulus filtration. And after the filtering of the blood, the remaining one enters into the PCT, tubular reabsorption takes place. In the tubular reabsorption, primary urine is formed, and this primary urine once again enters into tubular secretion. In the DCT, tubular secretion takes place. Here some metals and some nutrients are absorbed once again, and urine is sent to the collecting duct. So urine consists of 96% of water, 2.5% of inorganic substances, and 1.5% of organic substances. So once you give your text. So afferent arteriole leads to the glomerulus, as due to the narrowness of these glomerulus, filtration takes place, that is called as glomerulus filtration. And in the glomerulus filtration, water molecules, nutrient molecules enters into the Bowman's capsule, and it enters into the tubular reabsorption. In the tubular reabsorption, once again in the PCT, absorption of all the nutrients like water and potassium, sodium, calcium, etc. is reabsorbed in the tubular reabsorption. Next, it enters into the tubular secretion. In the tubular secretion, the secretion of waste products produced in the blood capillaries into the urinary tubule that enters. There the waste products from the blood like urea, uric acid, potassium, sodium, hydrogen ions, and maintenance of pH urine takes place in DCT. After that, it enters into the collecting duct. It is called as urine. Urine consists of 96% of water, 25% of inorganic substances, and 1.5% of organic substances are present. This is the formation of urine. Here first the blood is taken by the afferent arteriole to the glomerulus. Here in the glomerulus, due to the narrowness of these blood vessels, filtration takes place. It is called as glomerulus filtration. After the filtration, it is enters into the Bowman's capsule, And in the PCT, once again they will reabsorb the nutrients, water, sodium, potassium, etc., and allows to enter into the DCT. In the DCT, tubular secretion takes place. And here in the tubular secretion, urine is formed, and it consists of water will be 96% of water will be, 2.5% of inorganic substances, 1.5% of organic substances are present, and enters into the collecting duct. And afterwards it enters into the ureters through pelvis. So it is called as urine formation. And this is the structure of a nephron also. So nephron consists of two parts. First one called as Malpighian body, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule. These two other called as Malpighian body. And three parts, PCT, Henle loop, DCT. These three are called as renal tubule or renal capsule. And next, how the excretion, any point? Only this one. Kidney structure of nephron, mechanism of urine formation, ureters, urinary bladder, urethra, mixturation, composition of urine. So dialysis machine, kidney transplantation. So whenever the what we call nitrogenous waste materials are not eliminated, these nitrogenous waste materials will accumulate in our body parts, and these nitrogenous waste material may changes into the poisonous substance called as ammonia. Among all the nitrogenous substances, ammonia is very poisonous. When this ammonia is accumulated in our body, automatically the kidneys won't function. It is called as kidney failure. It is called as kidney failure. If both the kidneys are failed completely, the irreversible failure of a kidney, the irreversible failure of both the kidneys failure, both the kidneys fails, called as ESRD, end stage of renal disease, end stage of renal disease. And what are the remedies to be taken for this, and what are the symptoms? ESRD is nothing but end stage of renal disease. Swelling of legs, swelling of body parts can be seen. Swelling of body parts. Swelling of body parts can be observed. Why? Means due to the accumulation of nitrogenous waste materials. And this stage is also called as, what is this stage called as? Uremia. This stage also called as uremia. Uremia and edema. What is the difference between uremia and edema? Once they ask the question. Edema also is nothing but swelling of legs. When you are in the lymphatic system, you will get edema. When you continuously sit for a long period, automatically our legs swell. That is due to the edema. It is reversible. Once again we can get to the normal position. But uremia is irreversible. It is also called as kidney failure. It is also called as ESRD. Once the nitrogenous waste materials are accumulated in the form of ammonia, the swelling of body parts can be seen, observed. That stage is called as end stage of renal disease, and it is also called as uremia. And what are the methods to be followed in order to treat this disease? So first method, permanent treatment. And next, permanent opposite, dialysis machine is a permanent treatment. Dialysis machine, no. Kidney transplantation, permanent. Temporary treatment. dialysis machine, dialysis, using of dialysis machine. First, if we come into the temporary treatment dialysis machine, normally dialysis means breaking down, lysis means breaking down, lysis means breaking down of nitrogenous waste materials in the blood is called as dialysis. It is also called as hemodialysis. Hemodialysis. Breaking down of nitrogenous waste materials from the blood is called as hemodialysis. And this dialysis machine first invented by the scientist called William Koff. William Koff, W-I-L-L-I-A-M. William Koff. William Koff is the first scientist who invented a dialysis machine. And now this dialysis machine works on the principle called as diffusion. Diffusion, movement of materials from higher concentration to the lower concentration. How this machine works? First, this treatment, this temporary treatment, once the dialysis treatment takes place around 3 to 6 hours. The time required for the hemodialysis is 3 to 6 hours. And in that, after that, 70% of the blood only purified here, not 100% of the blood. 70 to 80% of the blood is purified and it is pumped back into the patient. How the blood is pumped in the dialysis machine? How it once again enters, make to enter into the person. First, they will take the blood. Takes the blood from arteries. From arteries, they takes the blood. Blood sent to dialysis machine. And here in the dialysis machine, dialyzer will be. Dialyzer. And they add an anticoagulant called as heparin. They add anticoagulant called as heparin. Why they add anticoagulant called as heparin means in order to prevent the clotting of blood. Now, it consists of a fluid called as dialyzing fluid which is present in the dialyzer and helps to purify the blood. And this dialyzer which is present in dialysis machine will act like a semi-permeable membrane. Which allows the only useful materials. Now the blood is purified and it is sent to the patient through veins. So from first the blood is taken from the arteries and sent to the dialysis machine by injecting with an anticoagulant called as heparin. And in the dialysis machine, which consists of dialyzers, they will purify the blood with the help of dialyzers with a fluid called as dialyzing fluid, and the blood is once again pumped into the patient through their veins. And it takes around 3 to 6 hours. And it is a temporary treatment. Throughout the life, they had to use this one. And next, permanent treatment, kidney transplantation. And before the kidney transplantation, the person who is donating is called as donor. And who takes the kidney is called as recipient. And they will check the blood groups of these two persons and the size of the kidney and position of the kidney, how the kidneys are working or not, and the nephrons, some number of nephrons present in that, they will take under the consideration and they will transplant the kidney. Where the kidney is transplanted, below the affected kidney only, the transplanted kidney will be transplanted. Means affected kidney, below the affected kidney only, a new kidney is transplanted. Why they are not removing a kidney which is not useful means? So as it is, normally it is affected with the nitrogenous waste material. If you remove that These affected part may be injured once again, so they won't remove. So below the affected kidney only, they will replace a normal kidney. Before taking the normal kidney, they will consider the blood groups, age, size, as well as infections also they will consider. Okay. Next, Nana.
Other pathways of excretion. Excretion and release of substance in plants.
Okay. So excretion in plants. So as we are excreting every day, the plants normally they will excrete the waste materials, low excretory substances they have, because instead of excretion, more secretion will be taken place in plants, and they will release the waste material in two forms. In transpiration as well as guttation, they release the waste material. In the form of transpiration, loss of excess of water through the surface of the leaf is called as transpiration. So loss of excess of water, transpiration, and through guttation also they will release the waste materials or excess amount of water, transpiration and guttation. And normally the plants, other than other organisms, their waste materials which are released by the plants will be very minute compared to other organisms, and they have the two metabolic activities. They will be used in different metabolic activities. And what are the substances which are formed in the body of the plant? Two types of substances are formed. They are called as primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites, secondary metabolites. So primary metabolites means the materials which are useful for their growth and development. Materials need for growth and development. Materials need for growth and development called as primary metabolites. Secondary metabolites means which are not used for growth and development. Examples of primary metabolites: carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Primary metabolites means primary, very important materials need for their growth and development. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Secondary metabolites which are not useful for their growth and development. Examples: alkaloids, resins, gums, latex and tannins. So alkaloids, resins, gums, latex, tannins are the secondary metabolites. And now we'll discuss about the alkaloids. Alkaloids are the chemical substances or toxic materials. Alkaloids are the toxic substances which are stored in different parts of the plant body, in the form of stem, in the form of root, in the form of leaf, in the form of seed, etc. They stores. And these are the waste materials which are formed. Then we are utilizing them in our different manners. Though they are waste in the plants, economically they are useful to us. Take an example of alkaloids or the chemical substances which are secreted by the plants and stores in different forms. In the form of root they will store, in the form of leaf, in the form of stem, in the form of leaf, in the form of seed they will store. And these alkaloids, take an example of alkaloids like neem plant. Neem plant releases alkaloid called as nimbin. Neem releases nimbin. And which is, now this nimbin is alkaloid which is bitter in taste. The leaves and seeds and the bark and the total plant will be bitter in taste. Though it is bitter in taste, these will be used as antiseptic by human beings. So economically they are useful to us. That is the wastage for the plants. We are using for our process. And take an example of a neem plant and tulasi. Tulasi plant, you know that they release a chemical called as a camphor. They are also used as antiseptic, are also used for skin diseases. And another plant, Rolfia serpentina. Rolfia serpentina. They release a alkaloid, reserpine, and roots of this plant used as for the snake bite. Cinchona plant releases a alkaloid called quinine. The leaves and bark is used for malarial drug. It is used to cure malaria. Quinine. And next, Datura stramonium, Datura plant. It releases a scopolamine, the chemical called as scopolamine, and used as sedatives. Used as sedatives. Next, Tridax procumbens, we call as chamantino, and it releases a alkaloid called as pyrethroids. It's called as pyrethroids, useful for insecticides, used as insecticides. Anything we missed here? Oh, okay. Tobacco plant, the scientific name Nicotiana tabacum, and releases a alkaloid called as nicotine. Leaves, seeds also also used, and these are used as insecticide. And next, another one is there, Coffea arabica, coffee plant. The scientific name is Coffea arabica, and seeds are used, and these act as CNS, central nervous system stimulant. So these are some of the alkaloids. Neem plant, Ajar directa indica, the scientific name is Ajar directa indica. Ajar directa indica is the scientific name, and the leaves and seeds are used, and the alkaloid called as nimbin and used as antiseptic. And tulasi, Ocimum sativum, scientific name, write down Ocimum sativum, the scientific name of tulasi, and the leaves are used as a camphor, and these are also used as antiseptic and skin diseases. And Rolfia serpentina, in the common name is snake root. Snake root, the plant name is snake root, the scientific name is Rolfia serpentina. The roots are used, the chemical called as reserpine is developed, and it is used to cure the snake bites. And cinchona plant, Cinchona officinalis cinchona, it's called as cinchona only, common name. The alkaloid called as quinine, used as malarial drug. Datura stramonium, the alkaloid called as copalamin, used as sedative, and Tridax procumbens, used as pyrethroids, insecticides. Tobacco plant, Nicotiana tabacum, the scientific name is Nicotiana tabacum. Nicotine from the leaves and seeds they will extract and used as insecticides. And the coffee plant, Coffea arabica is the scientific name. The seeds are used as central nervous system stimulant. Whenever we feel headache, whenever we feel dizziness, we will prefer coffee because it acts as our nervous system. So these are some of the alkaloids, and many are there alkaloids, hundreds of alkaloids are there, only few they are given to us. And take an example of resins. You go for the resin, and resins means these are the gymnosperms. These belongs to gymnosperms and consists of a passages called as resin passages. These are the gymnosperms and consists of a passages called as resin passages. Mostly these resins are used in resins or gymnosperms, and they develop from the passages called as resin passages. And what is the use of this one? Means used for as varnishes, paints. Varnishes means paints. They are useful in paints. Next, tannins. These are carbon compounds. Tannins are the carbon compounds and used in leather industry, tanning of leather. Used in tanning of leather, and also in medicines also they are used. Tannins are the carbon compounds. Next, gums. These are sticky substance which comes from the bark or affected area of a plant, and these gums are used as adhesives. These are used as adhesives, also used for packing purposes, as well as binding agents also. Binding agent they used as packing purpose, and these are also used in the preparation of medicines also, and they are also used in the preparation of food also. So whenever the plant is affected, whenever the bark of the plant or when the stem of the plant has cut, has injured, a gummy substance which comes from the plant called as gums. Examples: neem plant, tamarind, acacia. Tannins example, resins examples we didn't say. Tannins, acacia,
resin,
pinus. And next to latex. Latex means nothing but it is a milky white substance. Milky white substance which flows from the affected part of the plant body. And this milky white substance also used as a rubber plant, Havia brasiliensis. Havia brasiliensis, the latex of the Havia brasiliensis used as rubber. Examples: Jatropha. Jatropha is used, the latex of Jatropha is used in the preparation of biodiesel. Examples of latex: cinchona as well as Havia brasiliensis, rubber plant. So alkaloids, resins, tannins, gums, latex, these are called as secondary metabolites. They are not useful to plants. They are not useful for their growth and development. But they are not releasing them outside. They are secreting from one part to another part. What is called a excretion? What is called a secretion? Difference between excretion and secretion. Completed. Let me complete that. So excretion, in this lesson we discussed about excretion, releasing of waste materials from the body to outside, shifting the waste material. But in the plants, most of the plants, they will secrete the waste material. They will move the waste material from one part to another part. Movement of materials from one part to another part is called secretion. Movement of materials from the body to outside is called as excretion. And here these are all secreted materials. They are releasing the waste materials to the one part to another part, and they are storing in different parts of the plant body in order to survive themselves from the enemies. Some are releasing the toxic substances called as alkalides. Some are releasing resins, tannins, gums, latex. Okay.